member of the Appropriations Committee, the man who moved the motion for the punishment of Senator Ningi, the chairman of Senate Committee on Interparliamentary Affairs Worldwide, and a member of the Ad hoc Committee on Ways and Means, the deputy chair on gas in the Senate on gas. Senator Jimoh Ibrahim joins us live here in our studio. Thanks so much indeed, Senator, for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there more expert? Because, I mean, it makes a heart bleed when you hear issues relating to transparency of those who are in public office. Is there anything that you're a member of the appropriation, you start on these figures? Is there an explanation on these unusual activities which some of these figures are anchored on?
Well, Shehu, don't let your heart bleed. Otherwise, it can pack up. What is your heart bleeding about?
It's the manner in which
what is definition? What is definition of
and leadership has been the manner in which leadership in this country has gone. That's what makes my heart bleed.
Don't let it bleed too much.
It's bleeding because I have the passion of this country.
The key issue here is this: what is the budget? By ordinary definition, financial guides to expenditure. There are two sides to account: income and expenditure. You need to be guided. We don't write budgets at the National Assembly. President Tinubu has come with a fantastic agenda of a new hope. He has distilled this to the rural areas. He's more concerned about life of the common people. And he wants them to be good. You said 7,000 projects for borehole is too abnormal for 250 million people. Come on. This is not right. You said projects are distilled to NGOs, government parastatals, and they don't have capacity to implement. Are they supposed to implement? They are just mapped out there to track transaction activities. They advertise these projects in the national newspaper for bidding. Nigerians went there to bid, and they got the contracts. You are saying that we have too many boreholes, and you know we don't have a central water system in Nigeria. And you know the import of climate change and strategy of the common, tragedy of the common activities to water. In fact, the prediction is that in about 5-6 years, you won't have sufficient water to sustain life. So you want people to die in penury? They should not have borehole. National Assembly have taken borehole to their villages. Are we the one implementing these projects and contracts? Do we award contract at the National Assembly? Now you have first charges on the budget. You said 3-point-something billion is missing. And you saw clearly that on the first charge of the budget is 3-point-something trillion. So where is the money missing from? They are just embarrassing government every day. Government that have desire, good intention to ensure that we come out of poverty.
It's one of your colleagues that blew the whistle. And we're just analyzing the figure. By the way, Senator, what is being said here on the program is in the manner, in the unusual manner in which some of these figures are anchored. And you say you do not write a budget, but no, you did. Because some of your colleagues, this constituency project came from the National Assembly, not from the executive.
Do you know we have a constitutional power for appropriation? When I say we don't write budget, there's the budget department. There's even budget ministry. Things are decentralized. They are normalized to produce efficiency. When they come to Senate and we voice out, then it becomes a problem. You don't even give us opportunity, to get information. Somebody is saying project was sent to cooperative society in Bayelsa. So therefore, did we say that cooperative society should go and implement the budget?
Why did you then put it there?
It's mapping for national institution for you to be able to get hold of what belongs to where and who is handling what. Not that they should go and implement or build the roads or do the borehole.
Senator, because you sat on the Committee of Appropriations.
Yes.
How do you defend monies are budgeted for support for traditional rulers and chiefs? In the federal budget.
Okay, in the federal system of government, and given our historical trajectory, are traditional rulers not part of government?
In the federal budget.
Are they not part of Nigeria?
In the federal system of government.
Are they not part of Nigeria? Are they not responsible for certain issues in security?
Senator, you want to be governor of Ondo State.
Yes. So if I'm governor,
just a moment, the traditional rulers are captured under the laws of the state.
Yes.
And they are being taken care of by the state.
Yes.
What in a country that we say, let us tighten our belt, and we're finding those items. Another item was found saying they're procuring security patrol vehicles in Lagos. So they are procuring support for language studies and art in Bayelsa West Senatorial District for schools that are under the control of the state government. And these are, you say, are not unusual.
Okay, thank you very much. They are not unusual because you also know that the federal government gives support to the state. So the idea of total separation is not legible. And secondly, states are not sovereign within the federal sovereignty. It's one umbrella of sovereignty that comprises everyone. It's for the purpose of administrative convenience that you have state, local government here and there in order to get accountability and distill government policy to the grassroots. So it is not that Lagos is a sovereign state. Is Lagos a sovereign state?
It's a federating unit. It's
a member
it's a
of the
federating unit.
unit. So therefore,
I mean, for someone like you who have operated, run business out of in a other federal state, I'm surprised that you are putting up this argument and that you are saying Federal Cooperative College or G River, National Center for Agricultural Mechanization are having projects with this kind of appellation, and you think that is huge?
I'm responding to your own argument that 7,000 project is too small for 250 million people. When do you know that the central strategy of the current federal government is the New Hope agenda?
It is not the number of projects.
Responding to your,
it is the manner in which it's being gone. A colleague of yours, Senator, said on the floor, there was an argument. He went to the rowdy session. Why did he go that far when a colleague of yours said some were getting 500 million, some were getting 300 million?
Okay, that is the difference between a phrase and a complete sentence. Did you give 500 million cash? If a senator has a 500 million project, million project in his constituency, a senator,
it's a question of integrity and transparency
because you are
of the process.
A colleague said some senator got 500 million. Did they get 500 million cash? So if a senator got 500 million for constituency projects, I'm not part of that senator because they said senior senator according to what he said.
What went to
telling you clearly,
what went to
nothing,
your
absolutely nothing.
You didn't get a million.
We have constituency projects that I met on grant. All I need to do is to make sure there's continuity in those projects.
So your constituency did not get.
I don't need to get.
And your colleagues get 300 million.
My colleagues didn't get 300 million. No. You see, you are missing it, and this is where we have the mistake.
The channel constituency project is the amount of the value.
This is a complete mischief for you to say senators get. Are you saying
it's a channel? No. It is a channeled value.
No.
The value of the project channels to your constituency.
Are you saying? Let's take it one by one. Are you saying senators who are allocated X amount for constituency projects that are awarded to contractor, including the senator is not a contractor, I don't bid for that project.
He's talking about value. I mean,
so what value are you
our level
about?
of conversation is above that.
What is your methodology?
Our conversation is above whether or not if the money goes into the pocket of the senator.
Yeah, but you
our
make
conversation,
the senator.
No, it's not what I make it, what I did not say.
One of the senators.
Senator, just if you remember, because you're a member of the appropriations committee. And you are on national television, and we are asking for your defense on what a member, a colleague of yours, the allegations he raised on the floor and his agitation.
Okay, come this way. We have about 9 trillion naira on capital projects. Where does the 9 trillion naira goes to? It goes to various senatorial districts. The budget sent to us by Minister of Finance, prepared by Minister of Budget and Planning, took care of all the constituencies in Nigeria. So if you distribute 9 trillion to 109 senatorial districts, multiply that by 3 to federal constituency, and to 776 local governments, 36 states of the federation, will you get 500 million? Look, let's support a government that have a genuine idea towards national development. Let us take away all these side talk, senator got X amount. The other time you said senator got rice. Did you get any rice? Has the rice contractor been paid? Are they not supposed to be paid for supplying rice to people? Because President Tinubu always have at the center of his mind the poor. And he want them to get this grain. The other time he told custom, return the rice to the market for the good people to eat. And he leave the economic pains from Nigerians. Let us minute. When Senator back that with law and appropriation, they have committed an offense.
Let's take a break. So
I completely disagree with you on this ways and manner, the style and the strategy and the structure of presentation is to malign the integrity of the National Assembly because we are making, the other time you said we are buying cars. Now, has Senate been able to get money to supply car to all the senators? Have they done up to 20, 30 senators today? This is our ninth month.
So you've not gotten your own car?
Which car? Who have sent car to them?
That's what was budgeted.
Many senators hasn't got any car.
Okay. Let's take a break, Senator.
So don't continue to say, Senator, because they're going to get only one car, and then that they will not get that car maybe until the next 1 or 2 years. Then you are now saying, oh, the whole world is coming down. And one of the things that President Tinubu had in mind when he came in show is the fact that budget padding will never happen in his time. And he has enforced that.
The question is whether or not we are on the right path. You are a member of the Senate Committee, ad hoc committee on Ways and Means. There are a lot of ways by which things have been done in the past that are not right. And this government says it wants to right the wrong, especially the manner in which the CBN had gone with our monetary policy in this country. What do you think was a major problem at the time?
Well, at the time that the current government assumed office, Nigeria was right at financial dangerous lane. I can tell you that very clearly. Because your total debt has moved from $21 billion to $77 billion at about 100. So the central bank have to face, issues of paying current invoice and invoices that are outstanding. And because the president wants to create credibility, in running the economy, and he's very ambitious to look at local solution to solve Nigeria economic problem. So Ways and Means wasn't really what he is interested at doing. Neither does he really want to even take loans. So the key issue is the fact that these financial deficits have to be addressed. For example, cash to GDP that Tinubu meant on grant, he will never tell you, is 1.5%. How do you run an economy in which cash to GDP is 1.5%? And you think in 5 months, 6 months, you can begin to go to party and be celebrating? Are
we on the right path in reflecting this economy?
Yeah, we're on, in fact, we are in an excellent path because now government expenditure has reduced very drastically.
By what percent?
Particularly at the level of the presidency. So the key point here now is that as we save more money, save from, if you don't embark on a particular expenditure, it accounts to savings. Now, if you can manage economy at 1.5% cash to GDP, it's incredible. The amount of money borrowed so far by this government is quite nothing, is something not significant when you talk about Buhari government. The Buhari government printed 30 trillion naira. So, and this printing of money were not a mark specifically for a fiscal development program, like infrastructure. If you print money to develop Ajaokuta, who will blame you? And provided we have Ajaokuta running. But because you print money not for Ajaokuta, we are having a debt of $6 billion on Ajaokuta. And we are having 25% of the total cash budget is for importation of iron. Look at the consequent effect on foreign exchange. Just one item I mentioned from several millions of items. You have things like aviation fuel. When British Airways take off in London, he assumed when he gets to Nigeria, he'll be able to fuel and return back to London. Nigeria doesn't produce aviation jets. We import. Who takes the invoice? Central Bank of Nigeria. You look at the implication of that to your dollar exchange rate. Now, leave all those ones. Come to look at tax ratio to GDP. 18%. Meaning that 72% of Nigerians can still be taxed beyond what they are. But the president will never want to raise this net. Now, if you look at all those items, the variables, one after the other, you will see what I'm talking about. Look at GDP to debt ratio. Aswaju is still maintaining it at 23%. This is very, very commendable.
Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of who are...
Because the GDP to debt ratio in US today is 123%, 123%. In London, it's 105%. In Nigeria, it's 23 to 30%. Now it means that in England, the England economy has overborrowed to the value of the economy 105%. In America, 123%. And so in Nigeria, it's 40 to 30%. So if you look at all these economic variable, security index, mind you, has increased. It's better than what it was before the president came into office.
But what are the statistics you're working with?
from the security index, look at the general world security index and look at where Nigeria is.
Give us the figures.
Yeah, there is percentage of increase, which is 25%, better than what it was before. Go it down.
No, there was a kidnap of.
It's the fact that we have one kidnap occasion in one particular spot point doesn't
50 people were
the whole where we sympathize with that, but we are saying relatively to what was meant on ground, it has increased.
Senator.
And the cost of doing business, mind you, that has also created integrity. And international transactions that the president has entered into is well over $60–70 billion, which will translate to reality, money reality, you know, in few months.
So you have confidence in the manner in which these things are being run at the moment?
Absolutely.
By the economic team?
By the economic team. The economic team are doing fantastic.
With the way you grill them, out of that conversation, you and I have had a conversation, yes. Which you gave a lot of indices and a lot of suggestions as to what the government must do. A long list of what you listed were not, you said they need to tackle abandoned projects. Yes. That has not been dealt with. You said they need to approach Exim banks. Yes. That has not been done. Yes. But you're turning around to say they are doing the right thing.
I said, in time of loans, I told you very clearly, look, mind my language. The federal government is doing excellently well because we have a 30 trillion backlog for ways and means that are resulted to inflation. And we also have about $10 billion, outstanding invoice on monthly basis for central bank that they have to clear, from the Buhari administration. So I'm not saying that what I told you before is that abandoned project must be addressed. But you cannot address abandoned project within 3 months. Those are short-run economic policies and long-run economic. There are 111,886 federal government abandoned projects. Do you think Tinubu, even if it will spend 8 years, he can do more than 10 of those abandoned projects? Because an abandoned mega project is a project above $500 million.
So before I need to move to
so I'm trying to tell you that it's not, just so that we're deviating at all.
No, we're not. Yeah. I'm focused on what the conversation is all about. The bottom line is how these materialize into the money in the pocket of the average person, the food on their table, and the fact that the economy, how is responding to all of these issues. Food inflation, general inflation are all being impacted and the figures are going in the negative. And when you say they are on the right path, when do we start seeing a concrete effect on the cost of commodities and the cost of food in the country? Okay,
let me tell you this very clearly. World GDP to debt ratio is 253%. Nigeria debt ratio is 30%. Surprising.
Senator, those figures means nothing. Just a moment. I'm talking about how it comes onto the food on the table.
Let me create a foundation.
You don't have the time.
We don't have the time. If that's the last thing we say, is okay. The key point there is that if you have a world GDP in disaster or in disarray, and you have a local GDP that is responding nicely, it doesn't mean you can get fantastic food on your table. Because you are operating within the global system. So the global economy is saying debt ratio to GDP is 253%, meaning that the world has overborrowed by 253% of our what? So obviously speaking, you cannot say because your own economy is 0% to GDP, then you will be having rice and fantastic food on your table. But systematically and gradually, I think this current government is operating welfareist economic policies and program that has immediate impact on the life of the people. So within a very short time, let's be patient with the government. It's not yet 1 year old in office, and I can assure you, as we improve on these economic policies, things will get better. And Nigeria will have cause to smile. But understand very well that Nigeria cannot operate outside the world basket economy. You are within. So you are confident about the manner in which this government is going about the economic policies? Absolutely. Ahmed Bola Tinubu will succeed. I can tell you that. And he will make history. Yeah, I can tell you that. Our prayer, I mean, we are all Nigerians. We want the government. One plus one is two. What are you praying about the answer? I mean, whatever. A big percentage of effort of man, if it's not backed by the grace of God, it amounts to nothing. Yeah, there is a spiritual element to whatever we do. We want this government to succeed, but we need to move to the right path. We don't want a narrative that are not. Let us anchor on Ondo politics. I know you have your eyes in wanting to become governor, and I know there are a lot of movement in that direction. But those who will say the governor, who was a former deputy governor to the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, should be given a chance of first refusal.
Do you think so? Are you conceding to that fact?
What are you refusing? Because that's why you give it the best first option or first refuser. Is this one a bid in what do you call a commercial bid?
Is a sitting governor right now?
Forget about that. Where is it in the world that you see a sitting governor giving? You talk about democracy. What is democracy? Democratization.
It's a convention. It's conventional in politics.
It's not convention. Conventions are non-law.
You attribute,
you're a lawyer.
You attribute
morality and law are siamese twins, but there's a pathway.
You attribute traditionally. You attribute some level of credence to people who are holding present office to whether or not they want to.
If you are competent
in America, Biden is given a chance of first refusal whether he wants to run.
If you are competent and you have your strategy, why are you afraid of competition? Go to the field. If you are elected, so be it.
Are you afraid of Ayedatua?
Myself? How can I be afraid of Ayedatua?
He's a sitting governor.
With my Harvard strategy, my Harvard knowledge, Oxford, I would be afraid of Ayedatua. Go and ask about me for Mimiko. Go and ask about me in the last PDP election in Ondo. Go and ask about how Akredu got his first time in office. Who was behind it in time of mobilizing, creating, socialization?
Who was behind it?
Because the Supreme Court gave judgment to the other guy, which is not with the chairman, and then those with this other guy from Borno, you know, were not allowed in INEC to contest. I was with Sheriff. You know, the other guy, Jegede, was with the other guy, not Sheriff. At the end of the day, the Sheriff guys were not allowed to contest the election. Then I sent a text message to Ondo State people. Yes, by circumstances of today, please go all and vote for Akredolu. And what happened in that election? The rest is history. So let's go to that.
I mean, there are those who think that you should be content with being a senator. Why do you want to become governor?
It's not about being, whether you are a senator, whether you are minister. It's not about whether you are, it's not about personal satisfaction. It's about getting to intercede in the precarious economic situation in which we find ourselves in Ondo. Despite human resources of producing oil, we produce the least budget of all the oil producing states. We have Port of Ondo, it never materialized. We have rocks in Akoko looking at us, we are looking at the rocks. We can't do anything about it. The per capita income is completely embarrassing. The economy system has collapsed. So how do you now say that somebody who thinks he can make any impact, and you know he's comfortable, he could do without it, and he has the knowledge, you won't give him the chance to go and do it? And you are saying, I don't run down candidates. That's my policy. I don't contest it. I don't run down candidates from day one. But I am using a resource-based strategy, distilling to political socialization of the environment, and bringing Ondo State out to become one of the best states.
And you think morally, you think financially, you think politically, you have what it takes to get a ticket?
Well, all I need is grace of God. That's number one.
I thought you discarded that. You don't.
No. You are saying we should pray.
I'm saying that we need the grace of God for the Tinubu government also to work.
Let's leave that. God is
now you need the grace of God.
God is not contentious, and activities around God cannot be in convergence of complexities. You know, we don't build complexities around God. God give me the grace. It's the grace and the knowledge. The Bible says, "My people perish due to lack of wisdom." So I have the knowledge. I have God. Right. The rest are minor. All I need to do is to do domestic socialization of my environment and create appropriate strategy that will create competitive advantage in the midst of the competitors.
Thank you so much. We wish you the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Sometimes they say the race is not to the swift, not a battle to the strong.
Yes.
But, well, the grace of God will now set in at that point. Senator Jimoh, thank you so much.
Not setting always. At all times.